Hello and welcome to Ditch Witch Diaries. This is going to be a fun kind of series that we're going to start, and we're going to kind of break it down into individual topics about banishing. So it's going to be like discussion and topics and banishing, and we've got quite a list. So we're going to have a bunch of these little videos we're going to break up, and we'll just get started right now.
Ooh, cute.
I know, I love this, don't you? This is
Yeah.
amazing. Topics in banishing.
Oh.
This is what we're doing. And the first one that we're going to talk about is, first of all, why do people do this counterclockwise thing? And do we agree with it? Do we not agree with it? What we think. So counterclockwise is the direction of those circles. I realize we don't have clocks. We used to, in the olden days, we used to have clocks that went
Like
clock.
analog.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you've ever like seen like a school, maybe they have a clock and it goes clockwise. I'm sure in the video I'm motioning the incorrect way, but I would reference the arrows that are at the top of the screen there, and that's what counterclockwise is. Okay. So I love this because, I have an opinion about it, but I love the names. So what do you
Mm.
think about these names first? Widdershins is counterclockwise, and jaw-sill is how you pronounce that word that looks like it's Deosil, but it's really jaw-sill. Okay.
Mm.
And so
They sound very Wiccan-y.
don't they sound wickety wickety whack? I totally love it. I love Widdershins and
Yeah.
Jocelyn. I'm like, it's so funny. Anyway, so traditionally, like Jostle is clockwise, and it's like people think that it's life affirming, and Widdershins or counterclockwise is for banishing and reducing. And we're going to talk about a little bit about why they think this. So, and then we'll have our opinion. So, jostle is associated with the perceived, and let me tell you, this is a perception from where you stand. It's the perceived movement of the sun during the Earth's revolution around the sun. So it's how we see the sun moving. Okay, but this is like a perception depending on where you're standing, right? Because if you're standing the other way, it's just a perception. So, jostle, another idea is that it's associated with the movement of the Earth's rotation. Again, a perception because it depends on which pole you're standing on. And so, neither the Earth nor the sun really rotate in a clockwise motion, okay? Even if we're looking at it from the poles down, okay? Each pole would be different. But in fact, it's supposedly like the sun and the solar system from our perspective as a speck in the universe rotates counterclockwise, actually, or Widdershins. So
Mm.
if you want to take that into, that's the reality. And then the other part about why this counterclockwise or Widdershins thing. So the Lesser Banishing Ritual from the Golden Dawn, which is high ceremonial magic, they do it. They don't even. It's a weird thing because they do the pentacles, they draw them in a what's considered a banishing manner, which ends up being counterclockwise, and they kind of refer to counterclockwise as pushing away energy. So first of all, before we go any further, we're going to stop this share, and we're going to just, what do you think about that? Like that whole counterclockwise, clockwise. What's your thoughts on those?
I mean, I could see the logic behind it to an extent, but I don't. I just do kind of whatever feels right, I guess, in the time. And I don't even know. I think most of the time I do clockwise, but it's mostly just because um I do it when I'm doing like the pentacle. And the way that I draw the star, for me, it just makes more sense to go clockwise. It's not even really any like specific reason. So yeah, I don't
I,
like adhere to that. You?
I mean, neither. I don't
Yeah.
do any counterclockwise, or
No.
I don't even. I just do whatever's like usually when I'm doing stuff like that, I just do what's in the moment and I'm more reliant on herbs, I think, to be fair. Like if
Yeah.
banishing herb, I just use the power. I
Yeah.
mean, and my intention probably.
That's what I was just gonna say is like we've talked about this before, and I know a lot of like practitioners disagree with this, but I think you and I are both on the same lines about like the thing that matters the most is intention. Like you could have all the right crystals, all the right candle colors, the right cloth, you could have all the right stuff. And if your intention isn't like clear and straightforward and set, it doesn't matter, like in my opinion. And so your intention is what matters. Everything else is just sprinkles on the cake. You know, I like sprinkles. I like bringing in these
Yeah,
sprinkles, but they're just extras.
I agree. I agree. And
Yeah.
what else? The other thing I agree with, I think too, is that I'm like when so I can really tell when I'm in a witchy space because all of a sudden I'm a manifester.
Yeah.
Things just start coming to me like crazy. Like this
Mm,
move, like I sat in like a stuck place for so long. And the second I get back into like this witchy headspace, somebody invited me to move. Like it
yeah.
was like out there in the universe. It's like,
Yeah.
things just there and there was like five or six things like that that happened in a row and I'm like awesome. So yeah, it's just
Yeah.
my intention and where my will is. So that's that.
Yeah. I
So
agree.
let's see, let's move on. So then the some like into it is also like a lot of banishing spells that you read about, and this is why I really encourage to make your own spells. Okay, so because a lot of them say, I know,
I'm like, yes.
shocking. That's why we don't like give a ton of like spell work, maybe like pieces of spell work, but
Yeah.
like it's like the whole point is to make your own spells and to make them powerful for you. So
Yeah.
sometimes I like cobble like sometimes people do things that like kind of light me up and I'm like, "Ooh, that's an interesting thing to incorporate next time." But so one of these things is folding the when you're banishing to fold the paper away from you. Okay? So let's see. So people think that this is some sort of directional symbolism, pushing things away from you instead of drawing them into you. It cements your intention to do this, which uh-oh.
Oh, I love that
I know,
picture.
I thought you might. Okay. Don't go there though. No, you
I
can't do that. I did that for you. I did. So I
Oh.
think to the extent maybe that you're folding paper away and it's like part of the spell that's the intentional spell, but I don't think there's anything inherent. What about you?
I agree. I don't think that folding it towards you means you're going to bring it in unless that's your intention, right? And so, yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Okay. So, um, so you know what I think I'm gonna do? I think I'm gonna do this. I think I'm gonna just say, that was a really awesome topic, and thank you for joining us for that little topic. And I'm excited for that. I hope you enjoyed our opinions about folding and directional use in banishing. And we'll see you at the next Stitch Witch Diaries.